22nd of Blue Sea Moon, Imperial Year, 1183, Garagamak Monastery, Adrestia, Night. Marianne. Footsteps on the pier. Marianne nearly jumped, but she managed to keep her calm long enough to at least see who it was. She almost relaxed. It wasn't Edelgard, Lorenz, or any other noble who might have judged her for extending her breath of fresh air into most of an hour by this point. Nor was it anyone who'd talk her ear off, unless she told her it was okay. But it was the woman she, at the very least, had feelings for. "Sorry for startling you," Shez said. Marianne shook her head and managed a smile. She must have looked so uninviting, but she trusted that Shez would understand. She always had. "It's all right," she said, trusting that she could keep her voice low. Shez wouldn't talk over her. "I was a little overwhelmed by the feast." Shez favored her with that easy smile of hers. "I get it," she said. "After all that battle and the march and the battle before that, I bet you're exhausted." She allowed her eyes to fall to the pier and to Shez's feet, and nodded. Shez wouldn't force her to speak. "I can leave you be," Shez said. Marianne was quiet for a moment. If it were anyone else, she would have accepted it gratefully, or apologized and found another secluded spot. But she needed Shez here tonight, even if she'd been a little relieved to see her chatting with Lord Ferdinand during the feast. It had looked quite a lot like courtship, which would have meant her chance was already beyond her. But she knew Shez didn't understand the significance of gifts to nobles, and so perhaps... "I'd like to talk, if that's all right," Marianne said, before she could get any further into her own head. "Always, Marianne," Shez said, brightly, then sat down next to her, not too close, or, according to her fluttering heart, not close enough. "What's on your mind?" "You," she thought, but she couldn't be so forward. "It's the gift you gave me," she said, and then had to gather her thoughts. She stared at the fishing pond's placid surface for a moment. She still hadn't seen any fish, before continuing. This worry seemed almost insulting to voice, and yet she could trust that Shez wouldn't take an accidental insult poorly. "Is it really a gift?" "You mean, can you keep it?" Shez asked. Marianne nodded. "I was hoping you would. It'd mean a lot to me if you did." She smiled down at the water. "I will treasure it, of course," she said. I knew better than to doubt that, but... She wasn't sure how to go on from here. Explaining her unfounded hopes that it had been a courtship gift would mean revealing how she felt, and it was too soon for that. She doubted she could bear the rejection from a friend, let alone a lover. "I think I understand," Shez said. "It's all new to me, too." Marianne let her heart flutter for just a moment. "What is? Your feelings, perhaps?" "Being able to promise something like that," Shez said. Marianne chanced to look, and her heart sank. Shez wore a deep frown. "I did once, and I couldn't keep it." She was quiet for a long moment. "It was when I was a kid, when I was training to be a merc. I gave a girl, I think she was just a little younger than me, my stuffed..." That frown faded in favor of a smile, and those eyes flicked her way, but didn't linger. "I know you won't laugh, but..." "You don't have to force yourself if it's too painful," Marianne said. A ridiculous, selfish part of her was glad to hear that it was a woman, even as another ridiculous, jealous part of her... Shez laughed. "No, it's okay. I mean, for all I know, she's doing just fine. I had this stuffed fish when I was growing up." "A fish?" She couldn't stop a laugh. But Shez didn't look upset. "Sorry, I just imagined how that would look." And in the privacy of her mind, how cute it would be. Shez grinned, and she had to look back at the water to cool her warming face. Yeah, I guess it's a pretty strange picture, isn't it? Plus, a fish when I was living up in the mountains? Marianne steeled herself. It's not strange, she said. It's nice, imagining it. Thanks, Marie, Shez said. Marianne's breath caught. Oh, is that all right? A pet name? No, a nickname. Yes, of course, she said. She continued before her voice could fail her. So, you gave her your stuffed fish? Yeah, Shez said, the melancholy returning to her voice. I told her I'd want it back eventually, but I didn't mean it. I just wanted to comfort her, you know? Let her know we'd meet again. She kicked at the water, the toe of her boot barely reaching the surface. Since Berlin couldn't keep both of us on, and she had to join another company, Marianne watched the small ripples lap against the posts. I should have gone with her, but she didn't want me to. Said I had a good thing going, and she'd hate to ruin it. I'm sorry to hear that, Marianne said. Shez leaned back on the pier, spreading her arms. If she just leaned back herself, her head could rest on. It's pretty far behind me, Shez said. Anyway, what I was getting to was that I can make that promise now. Marianne froze. What promise? She managed, finally, but her voice failed her, dropped so low. Shez didn't seem to notice, just like always. That I'll always be there to help, she said. Is that what you were asking about, with the war ending and all? Shez's voice fell just above a whisper. Now that we're all going home soon? Yes, she said. It was all she could say. Her throat was so tight, and I don't want it back, Shez said. Marianne twisted around, confirming her fear. The deep frown was back, but I'd get it if you know, I don't understand, Marianne said. Shez's eyes closed. If you didn't want me around, Marie. She swallowed. After everything. It took her a moment. Do you mean when you were possessed? Her heart sank back and down into its old home. I'm sorry about that. Shez's eyes opened again, and that frown was replaced with a look of surprise. Huh? It was my fault, Marianne said. Shez was quiet for a moment, so she turned back to the pond. Then she heard that bright, pretty laugh, one that sounded so free, one she wished she could match. Okay, Marie, that's probably the biggest stretch yet. How would that even... My curse, she blurted out. The real one. The real one? Shez asked. She closed her eyes. Yes, I understand that I don't necessarily bring misfortune, but this is... She heard Shez sit up. Lean on me, Marie? She asked. Marie nodded, ignored how her heart tried to dig itself out of its pit, and let her friend comfort her one last time. The crest of the beast, she whispered. Shez was quiet for a moment. Oh, wait, is that the... Hang on. Linnar told me about this one. McQueen, right? Marianne managed a small laugh, then forced her heart back down. Shez was so nonchalant because she didn't know. Maurice, she said. Right, Shez said. Sorry, the 11th of the 10 elites, yeah? The one who... Her voice fell, turned on his people. She rested her head on Shez's shoulder for one more moment. Yes, and so the actual misfortune it brings wasn't your crest, Shez said, wrapping an arm around her. It was my power. My friend. Your friend? She felt Shez nod. Yeah, or maybe not. It seemed a lot different than Arvo was, so maybe... She sighed. I don't know. I didn't get any answers. Not then and not today, so I get it if you didn't want me to keep that promise. Shez held her a little closer for just a moment. But whatever it was there way before I met you. And even if it was your crest's fault, I'd want to help anyway. She didn't know what to say to that. Her heart felt a little lighter. Shez knew and hadn't so much as batted an eye. Instead, she was worried about her own. I want to help you too, Shez, Marianne said. Shez stiffened. I'll be there for you. I promise. Her voice was a whisper now. She couldn't manage any volume without. That is, if... Thanks, Marie, Shez said, her own voice a match. Means a lot. Of course, Marie said. Anything for a friend. Shez relaxed against her. Yeah, anything. She took a deep breath. You know, I admire you. Marianne blinked. You do? Yeah, Shez said. I never got why you were so worried. I do now, but either way, it was always obvious just how much it bothered you. But you still pushed through it and chose to be my friend. I don't know that it's all that impressive, Marianne said. Shez laughed brightly. It is, she said. I get it, I think. Or maybe it's not the same, but I kept my distance for a while, too. I'm used to having friends ripped away, or having to turn on them. Not because I'd get possessed, either, just for a job. Marianne felt Shez lean her head against her and failed to keep her heart in check. So when you kept sharing meals with me, even though you were nervous, it helped. It got me to stop pretending. But you've always had such a sunny disposition. Shez laughed again, just as brightly as always. Guess so, but at first it was me keeping my own spirits up as much as anything else. I mean, having command of troops, all those nobles. Nobles make you nervous? Marianne asked. Yeah, Shez said. Not you, though. You've always been so easy to talk to. I have? She asked. I still have trouble making eye contact. And my voice. Don't see how that makes you hard to talk to, Shez said. If anything, it makes it easier. You always seem to appreciate it when I would, match it. Not stare at you either. Nice and easy, nothing to mess up, you know? I do, Marianne said. You're very easy to talk to as well. I know I often misspeak and insult you, but you never seem to let it bother you. Of course not, Marie, Shez said. You're the kindest person I know. Her heart was soaring now. I think the same thing about you, she said. She could say it, the words were right there. I love you. But first she needed to once again rely on the kindness that had never failed her. Wait, Shez said, making her swallow the words. Why do you think your crest would make me turn on people? She calmed herself, taking comfort from Shez's arm. There are rumors of a great beast in the woods near my home, she said, and there have been for centuries at least. It is said to prey on travelers as any common monster would, but also to speak. And you think it was someone who got transformed by, what, an ancestor? I know it sounds silly, but yes. She took a long breath. Or no, I just worry that it could be. I would hate for that to happen to you. Or to anyone. Shez held her a little closer. It won't, she said. It kinda did, but you were there to help me, so... Me? She asked. She had fought alongside everyone, and her ice magic had helped restrain him, but... You blew the whistle, Shez said, her voice tight. I heard it. I did, she said. You still wanted me to come, Shez said. I was worried. It helped. I couldn't give up, not after my promise. So, I want you close by, Marie. I don't care about your crest, since you don't care about my power. Being with you gives me strength. Marianne felt something wet fall from Shez's face into her hair. I really do admire you. Her heart soared higher and higher. She wanted to let it soar higher still, and so... "I'm not adopted," she said quietly. "Marie?" She steeled herself. "My crest would be an embarrassment to House Edmund, to my father, and so he presented me as a cousin, so that in case my secret came out, his line wouldn't necessarily be implicated." "Marie," Shez said. She forced the words out. "I was his son," she said. The silence hung heavily, but Shez didn't push her away. Her hope... Did he force you to? Her hope faded a little. "No, it's what I wanted, to be a woman. And so he allowed it, since any heirs I would sire wouldn't be suitable regardless. And allowed it?" Shez muttered. Her voice stuck in her throat. "How long?" Shez asked, steel in her tone. I wanted to tell you... Sorry, Shez said. "I meant, how long before he allowed it?" "Until my crest manifested," Marianne said. "Until I was 15, I was..." "I'm so sorry, Marie," Shez said, holding her close. "Shez?" she managed. "I know how that feels," she said, kinda. "Or, no, not really." She took a long breath. "My body just kinda grew like this." She huffed. "Actually, that's maybe the one answer I got. He said my body was meant as a vessel for his consciousness, which explains the first part. The, between the legs." Marie's heart was in her throat. "Still don't know why I didn't, voice, spirit, all that stuff. Did you have to..." Shez released her. "Wait, no, sorry. You don't have to answer if you don't want..." "Yes," Marianne said, surprising herself. I want you to know." It was true. She didn't need to, so much as she wanted to enjoy Shez's steadfast comfort. "My voice takes effort to maintain. I need magic for the rest." That wonderful arm returned. "It's a pretty voice," Shez said. Wait, is that weird to say?" Marianne's breath caught. "No, not at all," she said. Do you really think so?" "Of course I do," Shez said. "And, it's not the only thing... I mean, Marie..." "Yes?" Her heart was pounding. "You're beautiful," Shez said. "Hope you know that." She coughed. "And I hope that's not..." "I love you," she blurted out before she could think better of it. "Shez, even if she didn't, she wouldn't..." Shez held her close. "I love you too, Marie," she whispered. Everything else fell away. The embrace felt so warm, but she broke it so she could turn to face her love. Shez's hand fell from her arm, only to find her waist. Her eyes were so warm. The kiss surprised her, but only because she herself had started it. Her face felt as if it would catch fire, but she hadn't so much as hesitated. Of course not, she thought, as her arm moved on its own, wrapping around Shez's shoulders, pulling her even closer. Shez would never lie to me. She loves me. Even though she talked to animals more than people, Shez loved her. Even though she hadn't been the easiest to approach, Shez loved her. And even with her curse and her body, Shez loves me. Shez made a soft moan against her lips. Again, her body acted on its own. No, it did exactly what she wanted it to. Her lips parted, her tongue slid out, and Shez's met it. She let the moment be everything. When it finally broke, they were both out of breath, and Shez was grinning. "Love you, Marie," she repeated. Those lovely words, ones she had only dreamed of hearing in that voice. "I love you, Shez," she said, and then her heart fell once more. "But my father..." "Gonna hold my tongue about him," Shez said. "But that's what we've been fighting for, right? So the crests and heirs don't matter. So we can just be us." She laughed, her voice bright to her own ears. "I suppose you're right." And, Shez said, if that monster shows its face, I'll have your back. Always. She realized she still had her arm draped around Shez's shoulders. And I yours, she said easily. You give me strength too, Shez. She let her smile spread even as those eyes became too much for her. Shez never minded. No, she understood. My love, she murmured. Always, Shez said. She leaned forward to kiss the top of her head. Always, Marie. Marie tilted her head back up and lost herself in another lingering kiss. The second of a lifetime's worth. Shez wasn't going anywhere. She had promised, after all.